We also had Brian the Virgin.
Okay.
Who, I think he's popped his cherry now, but Brian the Virgin came on and was very proudly a virgin, but was looking forward to dating so that perhaps he could, end up sort of not being a virgin. And he was faced with 6 vulvas in the first round, at which point he nearly fainted. And we had to stop record. We had to take him off set, fan him down.
Did you give him sugar?
Gave him some sugar, a stiff drink, cup of tea.
He's watched the show before.
I think he knew what he was going on to do, but I think he just was overwhelmed by the level of ladiness.
Do you guys cast people just walking down Covent Garden, Carnaby Street?
If only. If only.
Is everyone they've applied?
Absolutely. So we go through very, very rigorous, Do you
tell them to get naked in the audition?
Yeah. So in the audition, they get naked. They go through lots of, really good duty of care tests.
Of course.
They all see a psych.
Yeah.
So we make sure that everybody is absolutely signed up and they're good. They're good to go. So Brian was totally passed on all of that. He knew what he was getting involved with, but faced with six fannies basically, he had to have a sit down. So Brian was a thing. So there's honestly every show there's a moment.
Hold on a minute. So you're recording.
Yes.
Is he going to faint, or you can just see his face and we say
we're going to a break? He started to get a bit sweaty. He started to pale a little bit as I asked him to lean in and inspect the labia closely. He then went a little bit weird, and then he went, I think I might just need a bit of a sit down. And we had to cut cameras and take him backstage and fan him down.
Oh, Brian.
I know, Brian.
Do you think it was because of the amount or the different looks? Because obviously everyone's looks different.
Possibly, it might have been
or
that
everything.
Brian possibly didn't realise he's probably a gay man. So I think that might have been the moment that he realised that his sexuality was in question.
This is just not for me.
I think it could have been that.
Other spontaneous spend. I was going around maybe Harrods or Selfridges, one of those like big, ridiculous department stores. And there was a woman at a skincare counter selling like a sonic vibrating face trowel. It was like a small spade that vibrated at such a high frequency. And the thing was...
Is this an exfoliation?
Well, kind of. Yeah. You just sort of like scoop it up along your face and it's like vibrating away. And the vibration like vibrates all of the like stuff.
I'm loving this.
The vibration like vibrates all the stuff out of your pores, supposedly.
Right.
And she was like troweling my face and being like, wow.
So you actually sat there and...
For a sec. And she was like,
a little test
look at all this that's coming out. And I was like, well, I guess I'm spending £300 on this.
Did you buy it?
I have not used it once. I have not used it one time. It is the most ridiculous
Would you
nonsense.
gift it? Or are you just going to be like, I'll get to it soon?
I don't know if I can gift something that has been troweled up my face.
I feel like you can really cleanse that with a bit of alcohol, you know?
Yeah.
No? Or you say to your friends, you know what, I've used it once on my face, but it's just, it's just sitting there. Do you want it?
It is honestly useless. What a ridiculous product. Sorry if you sell that.
They're in sales for a reason, right?
She sold it like nothing else. I was like, in the moment, I was like, I need this. I'll never look beautiful without this. And
you've not used it?
Not used it once. Because immediately after, I was like, well, my face is red and looks like I've been struck with a vibrating trowel. So like, I look exactly...
It needs downtime.
Yeah.
It's those days where you're just having a you day at home.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, do you know what? Let me just put that on my face. How amazing is it that you can share this experience with him? So did he apply first? And then, because I know it started off with a bit of a challenge that you couldn't do this. So how did this even come to fruition?
So we all watched it together. Well, my family were watching Traitors. I hadn't watched it, and you'd love it. And it was one Christmas, so I think it started before Christmas the first series, and we had all got this horrible bug brought down by my grandchildren from Scotland, and we were all not very well. And so there was a lot of lying around. I don't lie around, as you know, and I was feeling not great, and this came on, and it was sort of penultimate episode. And I went, oh, that looks like fun. I could do that. I love those round tables. And they all just started laughing and saying, you would be rubbish at it. You're too opinionated. You're too gobby. You would have to merge into the background. don't be daft. Then when we were all feeling better, we played werewolf.
Okay.
And I was a traitor. And my eldest boy, you're a traitor, I can tell. Anyway, then my daughter flippantly sent me an application form in January. And I thought, okay then.
Why not?
And didn't tell any of them. And as is out there now, my hubby only found out because we're getting building work done. We're always getting building work done, by the way. We're even getting building work done at the minute while I'm sitting here, which is good. I'm missing all the mess. But my car had to be moved to allow the builders in. And I was sitting in the front room having an interview over the phone. And my husband's in my car. The car is now outside the living room. The phone call Bluetoothed into the car. Oh. So for 5 minutes, I'm going, hello, hello. And then we hear each other. And she said, well, I don't know what happened there. And I said, I don't know either. And then I came all finished. I'm buzzing because I've had a really nice chat. Come out, my husband's in the hall. And I said, I might have done something slightly silly. And he said, yeah, you've applied for a game show called Traitors. I said, what? And that's how he found out, basically. And then that you're not allowed your phone, right? Oh, no. So then halfway through, I'd got through the rounds, which was like, what?
So you're still doing this audition process separate to us?
Yeah,
you don't even know that he's applied?
No, he hadn't. So then they say, would a member of your family like to take part?
Yeah.
Now, on a completely independent conversation I had with my eldest boy, he said to me, would you ever consider doing a reality TV show? We were watching Sewing Bee or something like that. And I went, oh my God, he knows.
This is a sign.
And then I said, no, have you? And he went, no, but I said, go on then. So if you were to apply, where would you apply? And he said, oh, I'd go on Traitors. And I was like, oh my God. So then I said, and what would your game plan be? Because I thought I'd get some information of how to play. Anyway, we didn't tell him. And then my hubby had my phone. He was texting, pretending to be me. Although how anybody didn't realise that, because he's a man of one word answers. Right. I'm a woman of pages.
Yes.
But nobody suspected. And the only thing is, I said, if Lisa, my daughter, tries to get hold of me, you might need to just tell her, because if she can't actually speak to me, she might worry, because she's like our mother hen.
Of course.
And that's how she found out he made that decision. Then, of course, she told her hubby. And then I told one runner, my hairdresser, because obviously you have to do my roots before I go in.
Top up.
That was it.
Okay.
And then, of course, it went mad the night before it was aired. And then my phone didn't stop. And then my eldest boy, his sister-in-law, sent him a photograph of the lineup and said, there's a woman on this lineup that looks like your mum. And he went, well, I'm not telling you what he said. There were a lot of bleeps. And then his wife said, and there's Ross. So that's honestly. And Ross wasn't even going to do it in the first place. No.
And here you are now.
And I know.
That's incredible, honestly. Let's talk about Drag Race UK.
Yeah.
What was your overall 3 words? Sum it up.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
That's a good one.
It was just like a proper roller coaster.
Yeah.
From getting everything ready, that was just insane. Like
the prep
was insane.
How long did you have?
I think you have about a month and a half.
Okay.
You're not meant to tell anyone.
Yeah.
But obviously, you have to tell the people that are like helping
your
making your clothes.
Yeah, of course.
And then, like, whoever you live with is going to notice if you've got them for like a month. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Plus, not call 999.
And your mum might be like, why have you not spoken to me for 6 weeks? Or whatever, however long it is. But then as soon as you get there, they take your phone off you, so no contact with the outside
Big
world.
Brother style.
Yeah. And then you just have those, like, I think there's 12 of us who run it. You only have those people to talk to. And so it's like, it's a really unusual, weird, like, experience that you'll never have anywhere else.
You glad you did it?
Yeah. I'm so glad that I did it.
Good.
Like, it was very stressful at the time, and they definitely put me through my paces, because they made me do loads of stuff that I wasn't comfortable doing. But I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to go and have a laugh,
just see
do
how
my
it
best.
Goes, yeah.
And it turned out for the best.
And you did amazing.
Yeah, I did pretty
You're like
good.
one of the faves from your season, from season 6, right?
Yeah, everyone's been very nice.
Good.
It's been great. I've been loving it.
Take me back, though, to when you got the phone call. And they
Well,
said...
I was doing my vintage, trying to make some money on vintage, selling all my old stuff. And they kind of give you like, so they tell you that you're on, but they don't tell you that you're on, like on. Like they kind of soft launch it.
Oh.
So they're like, yeah, so you might want to start like putting together your looks, blah, 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 blah. And like they sound really casual when they're telling you.
Right.
So I like,
is it a video call or a phone call?
I think they do it on Zoom.
Okay.
I can't quite remember if it was on Zoom or not.
Yeah.
So I was just being cash because like I didn't want to like get my hopes up. So I bet they thought, oh my God, she's a bit like cool and calm.
Chill.
But then a few days later when I realised, because they send you the big list of everything you've got to do, I was like, oh, this is serious. Like I am actually doing it.
Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. And like I said, I've seen so much of your interviews as well, and everyone is saying the same thing, that you were one of the faves of that season. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel dead good, because like there's so many fab people on that season as well. Like everyone's got such amazing personalities, and there's so many different styles of drag. So to have everyone appreciate me, like what's not to like? I love it.
I know. I'm loving you. From the moment you walked in, I mean, your outfit in itself is a moment.
Oh, thank you.
But honestly, talking to you, so lovely.
I feel like you'd had quite a few funny moments. Have you had any?
Oh my.
Funny, awkward.
Do you know about my syphilis moment?
No.
Do you know about... so basically...
Was this recently or?
It was like this time last year.
Okay.
It was, I thought I was going to be sacked. I genuinely thought I've not got a job anymore. It was awful. So basically, I was selling this plant called a physalis. Right.
Do you know what? I probably would make that. It's very similar.
It's so easy.
No, they would have had to let you
up.
Well, they did.
It's so easy to mix it up. And basically, what the plant is, it's like
what's it called again?
A physalis, right?
Wanted to catch you out.
Never again. Never again.
A syphilis.
Oh, and it's basically, you'll know what they are, right? So you know when you go to like a posh restaurant and you have like a little pudding, and they put like a little papery fruit.
Sorry, it's just getting worse in my head because you're now being fooded.
It's edible.
They're
so
putting a syphilis on top.
Oh, little syphilis on top. So you know like the papery fruit, and they're in like a little papery leafy thing, and then you open it up and it's like an orange ball. You know what I mean? You'll have seen them.
Probably.
You get them on like your chocolate tart and stuff. And anyway, that's what I said. I said you get them on your chocolate. Basically, for the life of me, I could not remember what the name of the plant was. You know when it's in the back of your brain somewhere, and I was like, these little orange fruits, they're in the papery thing. You get them on your chocolate tart. You get them in a posh restaurant. And lovely Julia Roberts. I was with Julia Roberts at the time, and she was like, "Is it a kumquat?" And I said, "No, Julia, it's not a kumquat."
Oh my God, that sounds even worse.
I know.
What is going on?
And then I said, "Oh, it's a syphilis," and I was convinced it was a syphilis. I was like, "That's what it's called. It's a syphilis." And suddenly, the real word popped into my brain. I was like, "It's not a syphilis."
Did you have your earpiece in your ear?
They didn't say anything. They went silent. I think they were completely dead. I was like, "What is? You've proper stitched me up here." I was like, "Come on, guys, you got to help me out." The whole studio just went. You could have had a pin drop. It was absolutely awful. And suddenly, I thought, "Oh my word, it's a physalis," and I could have died. It was awful.
It's, to be fair, very similar.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have you added that into your show reel?
No.
I think that needs to make it.
It's on my Instagram. I thought I'll put it on Instagram and TikTok.
Is it pinned?
Pinned, and because it went off, and I was like, oh wow, this is going to be the end of my career. But anyway, it was hilarious.
I want to move on to something that you're predominantly probably known for as well. Sparkle Friday.
Sparkle Friday.
Do you know what? I did wear a bit of bling for you.
I noticed your bracelet.
I've got my
and
bling
your earrings.
I've tried to put it a bit subtle.
And there's me completely bland today.
If we had filmed this on a Friday,
it would have been very different.
Head to toe. I would have committed to this.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, Sparkle Friday is something that I started when I sort of came into midlife. My job changed. I used to be the boss of a team. Previously I was a partner in a global law firm, and I had a breakdown 5 years ago, and things substantially changed. I couldn't go on working like that, or rather didn't want to go on working like that. So I now work part-time. So that sort of coupled with getting older, I kind of felt that I was becoming a bit invisible. It was kind of like, oh, this is a bit weird. As somebody that's always been quite out there, suddenly I sort of felt a bit about things. So I did an experiment, and one day on a Friday I went into work wearing this mad sequin top. It wasn't Christmas, there was no occasion. And it was the weirdest thing, where I would be in the kitchen making a coffee and people were like, "Oh, hi George," or "Oh, I love your top." And it just sparked conversation. I was like, do you know what, there's some power here in standing out, and it literally just made people connect with me. So I started doing it every Friday, and then I started posting about it on my socials, and it's gone wild. It's gone around the world. It's been reported now in the Wall Street Journal, in the Telegraph, in the Times, literally from Australia to all of Europe, America, mostly women. On a Friday, they send me all these pictures of them wearing their sparkles. There's a lady in Australia that has her whole junior school class. They wear sparkles on a Friday.
Oh, George, you're a trendsetter.
It's amazing.
You've set a trend.
But it just goes to show there, doesn't it? The power of clothing and how you project yourself and how you feel about yourself and what confidence you project. It really does make a difference. And it makes other people feel good too.
Well, that's what you want when you wear your clothing. Like I said, you want to feel confident what you're wearing. I know I've put things in the morning and I'm just like, oh, I don't have time to change. It's pinching here. I'm going to be lifting this up or adjusting it throughout the whole day. So I get it. A lot of people that are listening or watching, and Sparkle Friday is new to them. How would you, and they're probably thinking, do you know what, I really want to do that. Like, I want to sparkle on a Friday, even if it is just a bit of bling or something little to incorporate in their outfit. But they don't feel like they can make the jump yet. They're still lacking that confidence. What tips would you give them?
Do you know, I always say that you can do entry-level Sparkle Friday. You haven't got to be like me. Yeah, you haven't got to do the full enchilada. You can do entry-level.
Talk to me about the levels.
Even if it is just a sparkly nail polish or a hair clip or a little bit of eyeshadow that is sparkly, you know it's there. And sometimes, it's a bit like wearing nice underwear, isn't it? Sometimes if you know you've got something nice on, that automatically makes you feel good. So even the tiniest thing, it's a conscious act that you're doing for yourself and sort of setting the tone for the day. So yeah, you haven't got to go mad like me, but a lot of ladies wear a sparkly earring.
That's the aim, though.
Well, you know, that's absolutely. That's when you've really reached nirvana, is when you've got the full suit.
It's like different memberships to this. Absolutely. You've reached VIP sparkle level.
I loved when you said you are in the confidence industry. When I do the QVC fashion shows, I'm so big. I advocate for body confidence. That's just through the industries I've worked in, my own fluctuation with my weight, you know, coming into my late 30s. I mean, things have popped out that I never knew would. You know, I've got a bit more hip, which I'm happy about. But where does that passion come for you?
For confidence? It's a really big deal for me, to be honest with you. So when it comes to, let's just talk when it comes to skin, for instance, people always come up and they tell me their stories, or they say to me like, you know, what can you recommend for this? And so I sit and I listen to a lot of people, and you start to see patterns over and over again, you know, when, but depending on like where someone's at in their life or what's going on, but it might be, let's even just take hormones as like a massive, like whatever, you know, maybe they're younger and they're dealing with acne. And, you know, even with my own daughter, she didn't want to leave the house. You know, she just didn't want to leave. And it was almost like, you know, she didn't want to go to school dances. She didn't want to, I'm a crier. I can cry about anything. So like, no, but it's like, it's a lot. Yeah. And you see like, it really, if this is just your skin, like you're fine. Like you're this beautiful human soul, and like, you're letting something that's just not that big of a deal. Like, stop you. But to that person, it's not such a small deal. It is everything. It's how they present themselves to the world. It's what they see when they look in the mirror. And then you start to see, you know, as time goes on, maybe someone, whatever they're going through, maybe they're stressed and their skin is showing it, or maybe they've got natural this, they got natural that, or maybe they're seeing lines and wrinkles, or they're seeing, you know, sunspots on their face from vacations they took maybe 20 years ago. Or as time goes on and they start to say like, you know, I'm this certain age, and I see, you know, these lines and these wrinkles and these, and this is in my skin now, and this is now who I am, and how do I adjust that to this form of identity? And the reality is that that's a blessing. Your aging is a blessing, and we know that. We read the fortune cookie, right? But there's a lot of emotions that have to go with that as well. That is a really big deal, and all those moments can really knock your confidence, and can really knock how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror, how you feel when you present yourself, you know, how you feel whenever maybe you're going this, and maybe you're single again at, you know, 55, and you're trying to put yourself out, all these things, right? So skincare is that step of being really vulnerable. Like I was saying, makeup is putting something on, makeup is creating something, and it's beautiful and it's magical, and we're creating a persona, right? Skincare, we're taking everything off. We have no armor in skincare. We're taking all of our armor off and we're looking in the mirror exactly what we look like, who we are, and probably not even great lighting, to be honest. It's not like it's a movie set. The lighting isn't great. And you're looking at yourself and you're seeing everything. And it's about how do we make someone, when they're in that, you know, vulnerable position, feel really good about themselves and make those noticeable changes. So when they look in the mirror, they say, I feel good. I feel like I'm at, you know, a personal best right here. And they can accept. So I don't know, skincare, it's like you're with someone their entire life cycle, maybe not, two. But, you know, maybe we start to pick people up in their teens and they're with us. And so for me, anyhow, it's a big honor. It's a journey, isn't it? It's a shame because I think whatever generation or age you are, our skin always goes through it. You know, I think even when you get older, like you said, I've started to focus more on my hyperpigmentation. But even when I started to focus more on my skin, I started to wear less makeup because I didn't have to cover up as much, which then gave me more confidence.
This is QVC, although it is the joy of shopping. Of course. Rumour has it, you've been here before.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do remember.
Tell me about
this. It was, I think it was probably in 2012, so quite a long time ago now. And I was in with my bandmates and we came in to sell our album that we were promoting at the time, which was a first for us. We'd never done anything like that before. We'd always, I think from when we started and when we split up the first time to even that 10-year period, the music industry had changed quite a lot. So it was kind of, and the charts had changed quite a lot. So I think our management at the time were trying to think of new ways to be able to promote and sell an album. So yeah, we came in and we did, I think we did a couple of slots.
Love that.
I've got a vague memory. I don't know why I think this, but Andy Peters was the host. Is that?
Could
I
be.
just made that up? I don't know.
This is all new to me. When they said this, I was like, oh, QVC had performances.
Yeah, and we performed as well. Yeah. It was a Christmas album. No, but we sat and we did, I don't know if I feel like we sat and did the wholesaling thing, but maybe it was just an interview. But I suppose that's kind of what we do.
We're going to trace back and find that video.
Yeah. I think, I think I probably look very different. And it was a weird old thing, but it was fun. It was a good part of that little journey that we were on.
I love that. So I'm definitely going to watch this after because, again, I was so surprised that we had that here. We need to definitely bring that back.
Okay.
We really do.
Well, that would
be
good.
You come back?
I think we probably would because there aren't many TV shows that you can perform on anymore.
We were talking about that earlier, yeah.
And I guess, and even back then, maybe that was the reason why, because it was when we started, obviously in 97, almost every TV show that you went on, you could perform. There were so many, but as the years have gone on, it's just become less and less and less. So to have an outlet, and I guess it really fits in well with our audience. You know, we are definitely that kind of daytime TV audience. So I think QVC obviously fitted very well into that.
Perfectly, hand in hand.
Yeah. Taking it back to shopping quickly, I know you said you're not a big shopper, but if you have a day when you personally want to do some shopping, what's your favourite thing to shop for? It doesn't have to be fashion. It could be homeware, cookware, anything. Garden.
Good question, which is difficult to answer. Look, I think for me, I go... So how do I spend my weekends? I go around the shops.
Okay.
Why? Education. I'm somebody who wanders. I mean, I'd wander into, because I live very near Westfield. I wander around the shops there. I go in and out. I see what other people are selling, because in my world, knowledge is king. I need to know who's selling what. Yeah. And I go in, talk to the assistants. Well, what are you selling? What kind you get enough of? Education. Yeah. That's me. Okay. You know, I'm a sponge. I'd like to go into stores and understand. You know, so I would go into all sorts of, I'll go into my own stores, of course. And I've got 3 stores in Westfield, London. We've got Hawes and Curtis, we've got Ghost, and we've got a bike shop. So, and then I would go into Zara and I'd go into other retailers. So that's my shopping. My shopping for me is education rather than
seeing what competitors are doing.
Yeah, of course.
Now, speaking of products in general, products you never knew you needed but can't live without. I ask everyone this.
Oh, I have got
and this is embarrassing as a child-free woman.
Fine.
I've got like a lock on my fridge. I've got like my fridge has like a chastity belt. Yes, I do.
You live alone and you have a lock on your fridge.
Yeah.
You're fighting against yourself.
I'm fighting against myself. But okay, so originally I got it because I did the thing where I've had a freezer. It got too frozen. I chiseled at it with a knife like I was in Psycho or something.
Right.
And I stabbed the fridge. You should never do this, by the way.
No, defrosting.
Yeah, defrosting. Yeah. It's like I'm in a rush, the whole thing.
Impatiently defrosting.
Had to get a whole new fridge freezer. Door sort of like bounced. It didn't like always close, and I couldn't face the admin of having to deal with someone.
I understand now.
So I got a little lock for the fridge, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Firstly, because it's kind of like, you know, when you're going into the fridge to just like, I don't know, like stuff some like corn sausages in your mouth. It's like someone just put a little hand on yours and be like, hey mate.
Not today.
Not today.
Not right now.
Why? And it also makes people like, when your friends come over, like they will steal from you. Like they'll try and do some like quick things with like your fridge and go out of the room.
Every single item in my fridge.
I'm like, you're not getting in there. No one gets into this fridge without me.
In my head, I see you've got a double door fridge.
Or like a padlock. Yeah.
And you've got the chain around the centered handles with a big gold lock. That's what I just pictured.
Yeah. I mean, I love that
image.
In reality, it is a little child lock. So it's actually very easy to open. You don't need a code or a key.
Why did I go that deep with the lock?
I think you thought that I was like, you're thinking that I'm a kind of like the dragon from The Hobbit, like sitting on my pile of like corn sausages. But yeah, it does fox people. And I think it foxes them because it is clearly a child lock, but even adults can't work out how to do it.
Yeah, child locks can be very tricky.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the Joy of Shopping podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you missed any of the episodes, make sure you check out our playlist.